Okay. Okay. Wow. We had a problem today. We definitely had a problem today. Technical errors. Technical errors. I don't know who we're going to blame the technical errors on. They can be blamed all on me. And that is no problem from that end. What can I say? I mean, seriously, what can I say? Anyway, welcome to
Well,
Taking the Journey. Sharon, can you pick things up for me,
good.
please?
Yes, I was about to say good morning and well, good evening, and glad to be here one more time. And we are Craig and Sharon, or Imar and Zare, and we are taking the journey together. And so, yeah, things sometimes things just kind of go off the rail, and I guess this is
Yes.
one of those times.
Oh, well, this is way off the world because I'm trying to find the Taking the Journey. Oh, there it is. Um, what do you call it? Link so that they can see it live. And I just found it. Can you believe that? I just found it. I do mean I just found it too. What a day. Anyway,
Well,
so
while
why don't you go ahead?
while you're doing what you have to do to get things going, running smoothly as you always do, let me give our belief statement, and then
Okay.
and that'll give you a little bit more time to get done what you need to get done, and make
Yes,
sure
yes.
our guests are hanging out waiting.
Yeah.
Um, so, our belief statement goes like this: We are going to relate. It doesn't matter what our mother, father, sister, brother, even what Jesus says, we are going to relate. But at taking the journey together, we believe in relating in a balanced manner. And what we mean by a balanced manner is you enter a relationship with as friends first, and then you build that friendship into a relationship, and you enter into a long-term relationship with both aspects in both people.
Wow. Both aspects. What are the both aspects that you're using with that highfalutin word that's in both people? What are the aspects? What do you mean by aspects anyway, since you brought that up? Since you read that.
Both,
You
both.
read it?
I didn't read it. I don't have it with
Well,
me,
you said
but
it. And,
I read it many times. Yes, 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 I did. Um,
hmm
what I mean by aspects is the different characteristics, the different parts, two different parts that have to be there together, which
hmm
has to do with the friendship. You
hmm
and I both come in as friends. We build that friendship, and then we build that friendship into a loving relationship. And so you and I are both friends, you and I are both lovers, and so in that with that combination, they balance each other out, and we end up with a balanced relationship.
All
Those
right. I
two
like that.
aspects.
I like that.
Yes.
Man, I messed up on the things, but we're going to move on anyway.
You know what,
What's that?
sometimes mess ups are the things that get you where you need to be.
Really, I remember the next time we have a mess up and we look like how we're going to clean this mess up since it's supposed to be. I think sometimes when you just brought that up, I remember many times when we messed up, we were in a bad argument and really weren't comfortable. And we were getting ready to go to a show or we were getting ready to go to an event. Many times it was a precursor to us after it was over that something great was going to happen and something
Yeah.
great happened then at that particular event at that show that we never even thought that would happen was
Yeah.
something unexpected whatsoever. I think sometimes when we try to plan, it's nothing wrong with planning, and we think that what we plan is supposed to come out to the T using visualization. Many times the spirit, life, or ancestors go, oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to do something different. And what they do different many times is something that's even greater than what we thought was going to
Yeah.
happen before. I think it has a lot to do with our argument we had before. We were too much into ourselves. We're too much
Exactly.
concerned about what we want or we didn't want in our pride and our ego, not knowing the whole purpose of why we were moving was for us to touch other people and reach out to other people. And when we did get out there, and touched other people, letting ourselves behind because of our confusion and upsetness, we were really able to put the best in front of people, and people really saw it. Isn't that amazing? Sometimes you could be angry at each other, upset with one another, and we get out, and some people go, "Oh, you look so good. Oh, you two are doing so well." I'm thinking, at least I'm thinking, man, I just got through arguing with this sister. How you see that?
And I think sometimes it is a release. We have
Mhm.
to release some of the baggage, some of the things that are blocking us. There's this one phrase that I got from Patti LaBelle some time ago when she was talking about dealing with her sister.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes we have so much junk going around and just hanging around that we're blocking our blessings. And
Exactly.
so
I love
and
that.
so that's one of those ways that we are forced to remove some of that blockage, remove some of that junk versus
Wow. I like
lingering there.
I like that. Okay,
Um,
we're going to bring in some blessings that we have. Blessings in a handbag. That's the name of organization that I think about it.
Book
But
bag,
anyway,
blessings
we
in
a
a
book
book
bag.
bag.
Okay, book bag. There you go. Where are we going to handbag these two sisters? This sister and this brother. This couple right here. We're going to let them come in, and here they are. Well, they were there. I don't know what's going on now. I saw them in the background. Oh, they're
There,
there.
there.
Yeah, they're much better from that end. Did you guys get yourself worked out on the tablet, or are you still on the phone? Uh-oh, what a heck of a delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're frozen. They don't even know they're part of the frozen chosen. In the back, in the what is it called? The back, what again, Sarah? The
The
backstage. They were
backstage.
moving. They were talking. They were talking about we're ready to come on. Now that we got them on, they're froze. Look at both of them. They got so scared. They got so just camera shy. All we do is just see their faces. You may have to try again from that end, because all we do is see you just frozen.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start um, our event. They'll probably come back in. Let's start not our event, but our show.
Show.
Let Because we're a little late already, 8 minutes late. I'll be honest with you. Let's let
Well, thank
everybody
you for
know.
those who hung in there waiting for us to get all the issues worked out this morning, this
Yeah,
evening.
well,
I keep saying this morning.
yeah, well, I mean, we were supposed to be connected at 6, and so another supposed network was supposed to connect right along with us, and I can tell they're not going to connect with us because the fact they expected us at 6, so we'll be winging it on our own from that end. But you said a good point. You know what that point was? Our argument had a way of releasing that toxicity,
Yes.
and sometimes in your relationship, you've got to release that toxicity, or you're going to bust, or it's going to
Hmm.
come up in another way that you don't like it. That's right. It is no way possible in a relationship are you going to not have problems and troubles that are happening, going on, and it's going to act like in turn there's nothing going on at all. And you'll find out when pressures come up. Let's try to put them from the background, see if we can get them in this time. Okay, now they're here.
And you're moving.
And you're moving too at the same. Hey, you have ever had, and I know you guys are a young couple. You guys been together how long now?
Going on 3 months.
3 months.
Literally, yeah.
Wow. See, he remembered. Usually, traditionally, it's the guy that doesn't remember, and there's the lady who does. But yet, this brother remember. I am proud of you, brother, that you remembered. You spoke up. So this idea of saying
Very
that
quickly, no less.
exactly. So he's really not inside nervous. He's really not uncomfortable. He's just ready to go forward, but he's respectful enough to say, I'm going to let my old lady or my young lady or my partner, I'm going to give her the shine right now. That's what I love. That's a good thing, my brother. Pretty soon, both of you will be shining. As we just gave an example, when after sometimes Sharon and I have a big argument at home, no one really knows about it. We either go out to an event or we come on the show, and people go, "Oh, you did so well," or "We did such a good topic, a good show." And when we get back into the car, we get home and we're like, "How did that happen?" Because we certainly didn't feel like that before. I think
But
Sharon. Mhm.
but by
We
the
actually,
time we get into it, we start to feel who we really are and who we really are together, and we start feeling rejuvenated and all of that. And so it really it we're able to free flow and move in who we are.
Right. So we really haven't gotten into any arguments. When we have a disagreement, we pause for a second and then
Mhm.
I usually initiate us coming back together and speaking clearly about what the problem is or the disagreement is, and then we kiss and make up.
Yeah, I guarantee you that when you do, because you will, it's not when you will, that's all part of a relationship. That's all part of being friends. I think the dynamics that Sharon brought up, which I didn't think about, is many times we keep a lot of stuff in that we are not having that chance, the opportunity to talk over to one another because we're not perfect. And being spiritual divine that we're all trying to move to has nothing to do with being perfect. Period. There are extremes that don't exist. We try to operate in balance, and many times we're not always in balance with ourselves and balance with one another, and we'll come to loggerheads, meaning we'll come to at fist over situations, problems with one another, and frustration. And that is a natural way of life. I'm gonna give you one that comes to my mind. It used to bother me all the time, but understand this as my spirit is just giving to me right now. There are many places in the wilderness that a fire is actually will come to pass and start a flame. I'm not talking about the one that has to do with Smokey Bell that says you guys should watch out. What it was those saying, Sharon? Only you can
Only
prevent
you
forest
can
fire.
prevent forest fires.
No,
I
I
we're
bet
remember
talking
you
that.
all are so young you've never
exactly.
heard that.
I remember that. I remember that. Only you. Yeah, I remember
Exactly.
that.
In fact, the commercial is coming back up again because some people are purposely lighting fires up in that area. Some people say for other reasons. But anyway, naturally wise, many times nature will have those fires started. And I would think many a times when I've heard that, how the animals got burnt to death, how plants will all burn up, and it would be miles and miles of them being burnt. And you'd say to yourself, why would nature, why would God, whatever you may want to say is a higher power, make that happen, allow that to happen? What you don't know, unless you study it and stay around watching those science shows like I do, you find out many times it is for a purpose. The purpose many times is to burn off the old soil, burn off the old grass, sometimes to move on, the animals to move on, so that something new and fresh, or those plants to grow back better than they were before. So sometimes in our relationships, we're not paying attention to, or we're not always on top of things because it's impossible. We may have those toxico times, but just know, understanding the big picture, that that could be there because it's trying to burn off that extra toxin that don't need to be there so that you can start something fresh and new in your relationship. I think that's something, Sharon, I know you haven't heard before until it just came to my attention as you brought it up. And we can understand a lot better why that has happened many a times in what we do. Now, it don't mean that we should be trying to fight before that. We can,
Don't create it, because if you
yeah,
create it
exactly.
just with that in mind, well, okay, let's put together something that we can fight about. Let me pick a fight just so everything can go
I
well,
don't, yeah,
is what we're
right.
about to do. No, it's that's not how it works. It
No, I
has to
like how
be
that
in a
commercial. That's not how it works. That's
yeah,
not what you do. That isn't how it works. No, no,
exactly.
no, no.
No,
I think
because
not.
when you think about it,
Mhm.
we would rather not be in that situation. We would rather not have an argument. We would rather go into these situations um, firmly settled in who we are and what we have to deal with. Um, and we don't realize that there is tension, or there's pressure, or there's something that needs to be moved out of the way until it happens, and then we get the opportunity to um, look back. As they say, hindsight is 2020. So when we get a chance to look back, we realize, yeah, I was stressed over this. Yeah, so was I. Or things like that. So you can't create that to make it perfect.
Ah, I like how you say that. I think again, it all comes back to when it comes to relating in a relationship. There's no such thing as perfect. You're not going to always have the best day. You're not going to always be like Snow White in the seven. Well, no, that's the wrong one. Anyway,
It doesn't matter. They all supposedly lived happily ever after.
exactly, exactly. I think the understanding of this is a journey that is a adventure has you go beyond of the stereotypes that we get and hear about relationships, and then understand it is your each individual relationship that you have with the person you with that is going to be your story. It's going to be your personal adventure, and you two will have to live that and create your memories out of that. And hopefully, those memories that you create will be more good ones than bad ones. But no, if there are bad ones, it still can come out good. Isn't that so? That's still, yeah, it can happen that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get right into what, Sharon?
Intra dependence, intradependence. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my mind went someplace else because something just kind of happened off to the side here. So I do apologize for that.
That's all right. That's all right. I want to start off a troubling, some people think toxic person who's going to speak something that is something that's truthful also at the same time. Because sometimes the toxicity, it comes off as something that someone's feeling left out on and feeling that they're not being, how can I say it, favored or appreciated. And they may bring it up or present it in such a toxic way. But yet there's a reason and a purpose behind it. And so we are going to look at and give it an example that I'm going to present, that someone's going to speak about, that has to do with intra-connectivity in a relationship, interdependence in a relationship, and see what you guys think after this person speaks it. So just hold for 1 minute, see if I can bring them up. I think I just brought them up.
Oh,
And
Lord.
then I'm going to try to
No, they
break
didn't.
over. Hold on for a second here. Uh-oh, it won't get any bigger than this. I wonder why I did that. Oh well. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let him go. I'm gonna stop him here. Put him on play. Put him on. Put him on. He's supposed to be a talking, not talking. Okay, see if he does this time. I want you everybody to listen to it. There it goes.
Time you told your man, I can't do this without you? When was the last time you actually told a man that this don't work without you? Before you, I was lost in this. But now with you, I feel like something's possible. See, women today, you're afraid to be vulnerable, and that's feminine. And see, modern women have become the men they dislike. You're not caring, you're uninterested, and you lack affection. And affection does not just mean sex. Men are innately tuned into women who try. Men need your love and affection. Men feel most loved by women in their lives who hug them, kiss them, smile at them, explicitly offer gratitude, praise, and words of affection. When was the last time you told your man, I can't do this without you? When was the last time you actually told a man that this don't work without you? Before you, I was lost in this. But now with you, I feel like something's possible. See, women today, you're afraid to be vulnerable, and that's feminine. And see, modern women have become the men they dislike. You're not caring, you're uninterested, and you lack affection. And affection does not just mean sex. Men are innately tuned into women who try. Men need your love and affection. Men feel most loved by women in their lives who hug them, kiss them, smile at them, explicitly offer gratitude, praise, and words of affection.
Okay, I thought I would go ahead and play that again. Actually, it just kind of went on by itself. I'll be honest with you. Let's get everybody back up here. I heard somebody at the beginning say, "Ooh, it's Kevin." I heard that. I actually heard that. Hold on, I'm trying to get this all back here. Oh, that's still not how it should be. Why is everybody so small? Oh, I know why. There you go.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
it.
We got back. Okay, I thought I would just put something out there that would put us all in a mode of taking a look at some very hard issues that are in our community when it comes to our relationship, and see if we can make any kind of bridge or connection to see how it fits in the area of intra-dependence. We're not talking about interdependence. We're talking about intra-dependence. Does anybody remember what intradependence was all about the last time we were talking? We had a Dr. Frazier bring that up. Anybody?
Because I don't want to say it incorrectly, but it's the type of dependence that's not necessarily needed, but it still cooperates. If you get what I'm saying, like it's not interdependent, but it's a natural give and take that's not necessarily necessary, but
Oh, I forgot to-
it works.
I have to give you an E for effort. That's all I can say. I can
And-
give
and-
you an E for effort. You are not afraid, even if sometimes you stumble. You're not, Sister Alea, I'm going to speak and think what I feel and think. Yet you missed that mark. You missed that mark.
the way he tell you that you missed the mark, you like, but you got it wrong.
And see, and that's the thing though. That's one of the things I tell my students all the time. If you try, you're getting closer. Every time you try, you're working that understanding in a little bit better. So it's okay to be incorrect
Mhm.
as long as you're working toward getting it correct.
So
Rather
is
than
the
saying,
intro
go ahead.
Well, life is all about learning anyway, because everybody don't
is,
know everything.
is the interdependence like a it's a coexistence between two that works together, but it's not necessary to work together, but it helps.
No, you're trying, but no. I'll give you right now a good definition. This is more a technical definition. Yet we will bridge how Kevin put what he put to understand it in an interdependent way. And I'll be honest with you, a very controversial brother, just no doubt about it. Not everything that he spoke about did I at all fall for. I ought to say it like I fall for. But there's some truths that he spoke that were very real from a side that needed to be listened to and be heard. And this was one of them. I'll be honest with you. So interdependence is the emphasis that's needed for coordinating and integrating of various components to ensure the smooth functionality of the overall system. Again, intradependence knows the word emphasizes the need for coordination and integration of various components to ensure the smooth functioning of an overall system.
So I was
You're
yeah.
you're putting your train on the track, but you're doing it one car at a time. So it's
I mean, that's the only way you can do it.
Exactly.
and see there was no problem with that, and that's what I'm saying. You're getting there, and
Let, let,
so
let, let,
it's okay.
Sherry, let me
I
give her both of them so it can be understood. Contrast with interdependence. While intradependence refers to internal dependencies, internal dependency, not outside dependency, internal dependency. Interdependence refers to the mutual reliance among different systems, organizations, or entities external to each one another. That's interdependence. Interdependence has to do with the coordination and connection of systems within that organization.
Oh, so I can tie what Kevin Samuels was saying right
Oh,
into that.
okay. She's kind of maybe peeking out. I bet you that young man next door can. I bet you next
Yeah.
door he could. I bet you he's thinking to himself, oh, those kisses and hugs are real nice.
Yeah, they
I
are.
And you know,
Yeah, they help.
and
need kind of intra
he said
dependence.
he said they help.
Yeah, it does help. It does a lot, actually. A little.
and sometimes
Sure, hold on for a minute, Sharon.
sometimes okay,
Sharon,
yeah,
Sharon, let
yeah.
the brother speak.
I'm
Let
I'm
the
I'm
brother speak.
holding. I
Yeah.
backed off.
Go ahead.
It's like when you have that extra push or encouragement to love, it makes me feel real good about going through the decision I make. And, I'm grateful for that. And she do a whole lot for me in this little time we know each other that, brightens my day up.
Yeah, I think we just had a little episode where he was kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, like he was feeling like, I don't know if I want to do this. I think it's time to go. And I'm like, we gonna make this happen. What's the problem? Let's get to it. You got this. We listen. I'm here for you. We didn't come all this way. We are here. We gonna do this. Like anything I could do to elevate how he was feeling about it, I was putting in effort,
And I'm doing good.
and he is excelling. Yeah, and
Yeah,
And
good, good, good.
I think that's one of the issues that uh, we have had, as we spoke about this morning, about having this anyway, as we spoke about in the last hour or two, when we had this conflict that was occurring. I think what is at the basis of it, and this just came to me while I was listening to the Kevin Samuels piece. Um, we are not dealing with what we're having to go through right now very gracefully, instead of taking time out to talk about it and how we're feeling. We're dealing with other things that are going on in life. We're putting basic life at the forefront, other than this has been a long month separated. This has been the first time we have been separated for this period of time in our entirety of knowing one another. Um, and so there's some stressors there that we have not even discussed yet, um, because we're trying to, as they say, power through or muscle through, to get to where we need to be, and try to keep things with status quo. And I'm going to be strong, and he says I'm going to be strong, and we're both strong in the wrong way, because we are not relying on each other to give us the strength that we need to be that one. We are like two separate entities right now, and we're not used to that.
I think she's also wants to say, but not say, is the powering through has everything to do mainly with that male energy. That's what
Yeah,
male energy does.
yeah,
Power through. And female energy doesn't power through.
no, it
Female
doesn't.
energy allows things to go in. Now, I don't want to go into the dynamics of biology for you to
oh,
understand that,
Dallas, I get what you're saying.
because that's a whole
Yeah,
nother study behind it.
yeah,
Actually, okay, those
it
who are
is.
in the wound healing and goddess stuff, they know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So we're talking about, because of the disruption, because of not going in deeply, the disruption of us as African Americans, especially being specific now with our cultural, okay, our cultural, how can I say it, dynamics.
dynamics.
We have, exactly. We have lost our relationships when it comes to how we relate to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Many times our sisters have had to be mostly male energy like. We know how this culture has did it. I came up in a single parent family. And sure enough, my mom being a strong parented mother, strong minded woman, you couldn't tell her nothing. Neither could I. She was very male energy wise. Came over with 7 brothers, very male energy wise. Lost my dad a long time ago. So I knew her as being a strong woman, but I did not know her many times as being a very cultural, nourishing, loving, hugging kind of mother. It didn't present itself that way. And I'll be honest with you, though I didn't have a dad around, no doubt about it, I wasn't too comfortable if a dude did that a lot of times to me. Though there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. As fathers should be able to have that ability to be able to do it. But there's a big difference when a mother is able to bring that energy and present that to you. And what happens is we don't have a good role models, and we transition into our relationships, and we sometimes have relationships where all we had was mom. That'd be mom and dad, both of the energy side. We transfer into relationships, and we never have no real understanding or comfort of, hey, I just need a hug from you, baby. I just need a kiss from you. That's all I need. I don't need to hear nothing else. I just need that. It's going to make my day. Is it going to make my day? I didn't have that maybe from mom. I didn't have that from the world, but I need that. We need that female energy. And that has everything to do with intra. I didn't say the other one, inter. It has everything to do with intra. It's an inside energy. Your female energy and your male energy comes from inside who you really are as a being and how you express yourself as a being. So intra is all about trying to get to know who you are and what you can be as being your best in your relationship. And the imbalancedness in our relationships, many of our African-American relationships, is that we have no real role models, let alone we have no real way of being able to understand how we can relate to one another. Look at real quickly, and I'm not saying you didn't know this, young sister, but look how much he has opened up real quickly when he had a chance to speak that which in turn he's wanted and he needs it. And you see look at him, he's glowing already when he hears that. Look, turn, sister, look at him. Don't look at the camera, look at him.
I can see him in the camera. I'm looking at him.
No. There you go. Make it real. Not virtual. They don't know Memorex. They're too young to know that commercial.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like holding his arm doing this.
There you go. We have to present that balanced image not only to our children, because that's very important, but we need to show and present that balanced image to the world. They don't see that image of us being that way. They don't see the image of us presenting ourselves that way. We don't get no Hallmark shows like that.
Yeah. This is saying that's what I want to do.
And I please, if you guys are upset with me, please don't. But my brother, who I've met at least once, Tyler Perry, ain't doing good with that. And if it does stop, and they usually end up waking up, being mad, someone dying, it doesn't stay in that way as being an example.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to have that for our next generation. So intra has to do with dealing with us in the inside. That's what intra does. It recognizes the crucialness of efficient operations, effective decision making, achieving synergies within a system or organization. Again, it does crucial for efficient operation, effective decision, achieving synergy within systems and organization. You could simply transfer that over if you were a mechanic. You understand as a mechanic, the transmission and the motor got to operate well together. Otherwise, that car ain't going to move.
Yes.
And all the intricate parts from the pistons to the individual gears in each one and the transmission, if they don't operate in sync and work smoothly together, that car is not going to move. And even when it does, we still have to do what you call as maintenance on it. That's right. Maintenance. Part of that maintenance is what Sharon just openly said, by the way. Yeah, we had a little fight before we got up to here today. She just was openly saying that.
Well, you had already mentioned it. So.
Part of that maintenance is sometimes that car ain't going to want to run right because we got too busy. Forgot to put the oil in right. You know what I'm saying? We drove it too hard. You know what I'm saying? We did some things that we know full well needs to be done for that operation of that car to run smoothly and go the direction towards the purpose that you wanted to go.
Yeah. And from the other side of that, for people who don't understand cars very well, you look at it also is nourishing and nurturing. And if taking from something that I understand pretty well, cooking. If you have all of the ingredients and you just throw them in a pan and don't turn on the stove, what are you going to have? You're not going to have that heat to make it do what it needs to do. You're not going to have the preparation in the beginning to make it palatable. So you're going to just have a raw mess sitting there, and it's not going to be nurturing. If you actually take the care that is necessary up front and then put all the parts together, then you are going to have something that is nurturing, that is nourishing. And that's what we have to do with each other in our relationship. It's the hugs, it's the kisses, it's the kind words. And sometimes it's just saying, I appreciate you for what you're doing. I appreciate you for holding it down. I appreciate you for helping me keep my sanity, even if you drive me crazy in the meantime. But
Yeah.
it's the
I mean,
it's the it's
I would tell you,
it's the
sometimes
sanity.
I can really, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I can really blow up, like y'all couldn't tell, but sometimes I can really blow up in, how can I say it, become a very live person where I'm not dead. But yet there is that look and touch that sharing can do that will bring a shock to me in such a way that says, brother, you just went over the top. You've lost your mind. You need to reel that in and check yourself before you wreck yourself. I think that's very important for us to understand in the relationships how the female energy is powerful.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't operate in the area of being fearful of the male energy, it can easily soothe and calm an individual and put them back on track. Very important for us to understand. And that's just another example of intra, inside thing. Go ahead, brother. You get ready to say something. I know you want to.
Yeah, it's like a little example. I got this from her mom. She was like, anytime her and her other half get into it or about or something she don't like, she might pat him on the side 2 times just to let him know you're going a little above and beyond, and you should come on back down. And we are trying to work on that too. Like if I, act up a little bit, she'll come tap me, a few times, 1 or 2, and I know right then, oh, I'm acting up. I need to calm down and get my mind together.
That's all good.
And vice versa.
I like
he done
that.
tapped me a few times too.
Yeah.
I bet he has.
Yes,
we,
yes.
we know that even what Kevin Sandals talked about, he was only speaking because he knows that there's many males today because of what has happened in this country, like my mom, who had to operate in male energy for us to exist because of what slavery has did for us. Let's be for real. What slavery did to us folks. Come on now. They had to be the male and the female. And we know after what's the time after slavery, Sharon, when in turn we live well to keep the communities,
Reconstruction.
Yep.
And then they destroyed Reconstruction and made sure that they split us from there through welfare and the rest of it. Remember what happened? They definitely had to operate that way. I give a lot of love and uplift as my mom was, and I take care of her till she passed away. But my mom was a booger. She didn't take no mess from nobody. Nobody.
Same way.
Seriously.
And that's how I learned. That's her being an example of energy, masculine energy and feminine energy combined with a whole lot of masculine. That's how I learned how, like, I got masculine energy now. But the way I learned my balance was watching her be what I didn't want to present to my husband. So I learned from not example by the lack thereof, how I wanted to present myself to my husband going forward.
I like that. That's a good example. I hope some young ladies who are listening, I hope after we do the show, you take this particular special show and let that link be shared with others. I was going to speak it at the end of the show anyway, because your testimony that you just got through saying is going to be something that's going to move a lot of young sisters who operate where they are right now in a male energy way, but don't know how to take that transition. How do I change that? How do I make that different? You just said what you just got through saying, but not doing that which in turn my mother didn't do. I have heard on the other side many brothers, including me, who came without a father in my life, but except for with my mom. I said to myself, when I got married, I'm going to do everything my father didn't do to
Right.
and with my children. So you just spoke that, which in turn sometimes we have to do. We have to break, hopefully, what some folks call the curse, and do
Right.
something different.
I
Yeah.
definitely, I was telling him at the end of the day, if I
Mhm.
have to, I know how to. I'm definitely a survivor. I definitely can put the pants on if I need to. If ever you should fall short, CDL in the clutch. And when I say CDL in the clutch, I mean that in every aspect, everything in the clutch, everything about you. I'm a mirror image in the clutch. Yet I do understand what it means to support as well. I know what it means
Mhm.
to allow you to be that and support you doing that in any way that I can. And I'm gonna allow that. I actually get the chance to allow a man to just and be able to trust him being a man in
Mhm.
whatever facet you want to call it. I can just
Mhm.
breathe, waiting to exhale. I can finally exhale. And a lot of women who are being misread by men really just want to exhale. They want to trust the man to be
Mhm.
able to be like, you know what? I don't have to make these decisions. I can sit down, I can sit still and just let him be the man and support him being that man. They want to exhale, but we
Yes.
just sometimes can't trust that we have that person that can hold that fort down
Yeah.
in a way that we would respectfully just feel completely okay with letting him just move. Because when we do let a man move,
So,
they show us all this messed up. When you do allow a man to be a man, they show you that most times they show you that you got to put your pants back on.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is. We feel
Mhm.
we have to allow them. And they are
That okay.
men are by virtue of their rights in their birthright, they are to be that masculine energy, whether or not we say it's okay for you to be a man. They are a man, and we have to realize, and because so many of us were in those single family homes, whether it was um, an absentee parent in the home or, you know, for whatever reason that parent was not there. We have to realize that we cannot allow a man to be a man. We have to trust that he is going to handle his masculinity in the proper way. And from that point on, we have to nurture him and support him to be who he is, to
Yeah.
be that that energy, uh, to be that energy freely,
Well,
and
I'll have
so
to
that
be.
way,
I'm going to
That's
have
what
to
I
be
said.
the. I'm going to have
That's
to
what
be
I
the energy brother right now because we need to go and take a, what is it called, Sharon? We're supposed to do.
take a break.
Okay, gotta
It's
take a break.
time for
We'll
a
be
break.
right back and
Yes.
we'll continue with this. Okay, so hold on, everybody, hold on. Got to go. We'll be right back.
I'm Patty Hewitt, and I'm worried.
Hold on, wrong one.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
Like little stuff we
Okay, I didn't want too much of a break in between because I know this is a pretty hot subject. Sharon, why don't you real quickly give us a little bit where we could be found and other places. See if I can find it real quickly. I'll try this one first. Go ahead.
Okay, you can email us at taking the journey, excuse me, TTJ at taking the journey together, together.com. On Facebook, we are TTJ Together. Instagram, we are taking the J together. You can catch us at 912-421-8862. And once again, that email is ttjt at takingthejourney together. You can also catch us on Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time on WRUU. And it's a radio program, and you won't see us, but you'll hear us. We're talking about the same things. Right now, we are running some of our shows from the past just because
You're
um,
out of town. You're gone.
I'm gone, but I'll be back this time next week. Next week, I will be in that black chair. I can't wait to get back in that black chair with
Yes.
Pastor.
You know, I was thinking about doing this time, Sharon. I was
What's
going to
that?
take your big long pillow that I usually leave with you when I'm going. I was going to put it up there, right there, and then when I needed my psychological hug, I was going to take it and hug it.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
Well,
Us brothers, no matter how big we are, we need a hug. Sometimes we got good hugs from our mom. Don't get it twisted because we did. But you know, it's all right for us to get a hug from hopefully the woman that we care about and love. It's all right for you to hug us too in return,
yes.
even if it's in the open. You don't have to
Here
be
we go.
afraid.
oh yeah,
Here we
we
go.
big on
There we
PDA.
go.
Yes.
There's my hug for you,
Oh,
babe.
thank you.
So,
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna hug my mic.
oh. Yeah,
I-
but it won't be long. We have weathered this storm. It's going to be just a few more days, and I will be back. I
you
love
gotta be
being here. Love what I was doing, but I miss you.
all right.
Oh,
So let's talk about what was that? I don't know what that was. I don't want that
I don't
commercial.
know.
Let's go ahead. I think we were right in the middle of YouTube, the two empresses. Empress number one, of course, would be mine, and Empress number two is down below. We were right in the middle of talking about that issue that had to do with that actual transformation of how do you release that male energy that especially in our cultural condition as African Americans, what this country has did, okay, to
mhm.
then be able to release it, move it, whatever you may want to call it, for another male to be able to
It's
then enjoy my female side.
well, I was saying something after when we went on break. I was telling
Mhm.
him. I think every woman naturally wants to have that man be that man. I was telling him like I think we do this when we first get into a relationship with a guy. We kind of step back to see how
Mhm.
he moves, how he operates, and then if
Mhm.
we see something that's like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, then we kind of take control of that situation or that aspect. And with him,
Mhm.
I was able to like do my little step back and watch him,
Mhm.
and then I was like, "Whoo, I could breathe," because he just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And every man, like she was saying, every man is a man, but every man doesn't understand what that is for real. Like
Yeah.
they want that position, and then they get in there and they do things that fuel insecurities. They do
Mhm.
things that you know what I'm saying. And then when you try to address it, there's no accountability, or they want to lash out because they don't want to hear it, and da 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 da. It's just so many different aspects about it that makes women sometimes have to just. Now I have to keep my pants on. I have to. I'm with
Mhm.
you. Yes, I have a man now, but I have to keep my pants on.
Mhm.
And that's the other side of that too that I wanted to get to. You were talking about allowing a man to be a man and have that masculine energy, but at the same time, if we're talking allowing, which I would
I
I'm
didn't
going to
want to
move.
say allowing.
No, no, I understand. I understand, but I'm going to move away from that terminology and say, um, a lot of times men need to be encouraging and accepting of that feminine energy, because so long we have had to carry things. We have it in our DNA because our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents had to hold down the fort to protect the black man from things that were out of his control, to hold the family together while he was off trying to make a living someplace else because he couldn't make a living where they were, because of early death that so many black men have had to have experienced because of what the strenuousness of the lifestyle that they were forced to live. So there have been many reasons and many times that that intradependence has not um, been our saving grace, I guess we could say. And so from that standpoint, we need to be encouraged to be that to embrace that feminine energy, to say,
Exactly.
for a man to say, I got this. You can go and, I'm not going to say take care of the children, but you got to nurture the children too. But, if a man says, I got this, you go put on a pretty dress or something that's going to make you feel soft and comfortable. We got to stop taking that as, oh, he just wants me to look good. No, he wants you to
And
feel
what's wrong with
that
that?
that softness.
Compliment.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
brother, the brother Small, he smiled real quickly. See, he got that man part in there to do that visualization. He was like, "What's wrong with that?"
Yeah, and that's my point. We see it as something that's negative, that we're just to be, he's um putting us as a
Sexual object.
object. Yes.
And as
Instead,
Kevin brought it up very clearly, it's not just about trying to have sex, which is why that
ooh,
was.
ooh, ooh, ooh,
I don't know who
ooh.
that is. I don't have the
Yeah,
slightest.
That's us. We're going to 1%. Ooh,
I did remove you. I had to take you out. I don't.
yeah,
That.
I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. So the part she's referring to, what I was going to bring up real quickly, Sharon, has to do with as much as, because remember, taking the journey is all about bringing balance and not extreme. The
mm-hmm.
extreme would be that the male knows nothing about being a male, but the female knows everything about being a female being or energy. And the fact that she's not being that way is because the male's not. No, no. This society has messed it up for both of us. One has forced us to be more one way than the other. I'm going to bring her in. Okay, you're back
Yes.
in now. One has forced one to be more one way the other, and has been did it so long, so many decades in an imbalanced, dysfunctional way. Both of us do not really know how to operate in a balanced way when it comes to who we are as a being. So many females do not know how to be feminine. They don't know how to really communicate. They don't know how to get out of that role of allowing a male to be a male and them to be feminine like. They have no either past experience from no other mom before, because the mom had to be the male all the time like my mom. So they have no experience. They're not many times even doing that wound healing. They're not doing even looking into books to how to counsel, how to talk, the Yana Van Zam and the rest of them, of how to communicate and allow yourself to love again, to be able to be that kind of healthy, balanced individual in that relationship, as much as that male needs to learn how to be that same thing. So in a balanced relationship, we're all about learning how we both can be able to connect with one another in a balanced way and not be an extreme, which is why the balanced relationship idea that we push now for taking the journey is that we believe true friendship as a basis that you can stand on that allows that. How many times have you not had, I don't know about you, my brother, but we had friends who were women like, even though sometimes they act like dudes, but then sometimes they could be real feminine to us when we were upset about something, but yet we could talk to them, tell them about anything, and they would listen to us with no problem. Okay. And they weren't really our girlfriends. They weren't the girl that we were really sleeping with, whatsoever, but they were like a friend to us. And it could be the vice versa with that particular woman too. So bring in friendship, true friendship, as a basis for your relationship brings that balance in and allows you to be authentic. And therefore, when there's a time to be able to relate to that other particular person, you're going to relate as a friend. If this is a person you care about and he is that male you care about, hey, the times that he wants you to look good in that dress, why are you going to say no? Why? I mean, why would you say no? I mean, seriously, vice versa. You wouldn't. Just like maybe at that time, and I know your brothers may get a come and say, maybe that brother say, man, tonight I ain't taking that trash out. Could you please take it out? You're not going to say, man, you took it out before. I need to do it now for. You're going to go, okay, I'll take it out. Don't even worry about it, baby. I'll take it out. Or it could be, baby, I'll do breakfast tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I'll do my best. I won't even burn the eggs like I did before, but I'm gonna do that breakfast for you tomorrow. You can stay in bed, and I don't burn no eggs, so don't be laughing at me. But anyway,
No, I was just thinking about burning eggs. The whole
stay in
idea.
bed. I'll take care of. But you could get the understanding here. This is not extremes. These are being balanced compared to who you are and how you relate according to who you are as divine beings. That's what we're referring to. Intradependence allows you to go in and find out who you are and the balance that's in you to be able to relate from there. And that means sometimes we may have to learn this. In fact, I'll be honest with you, most of the time, especially in our community, because we don't have much example, we're going to have to learn this, and we're going to have to learn it together as we take this journey together.
And we're about out of time now.
Yeah, we are. That's why I kind of ended that way.
Yes, and that was
I
a
heard
good
that.
ending.
What you did?
Okay, so where can we find out a little bit more about what you're doing, young lady, with your partner? Because I know you have an organization that people would like to know something about. And what are you doing next?
On Facebook, I Seaport Savannah. You can find that is I Seaport Savannah on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And our personal thing that we're about to start doing, you can find on my personal Facebook, Melanie Allure, like Melanie without the E. Allure, ALUR, author, ALTHA. I'm going to change that at some point if they let me. And on TikTok specifically at Empress _ Makalani, MAKALANI. And yeah, going further forward, you'll see more of us there.
All right.
And
all right.
and
So,
and
brother,
next time, make
I'm sorry.
hold on. Next time, make sure you add his name down there.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, okay, it's well then.
Sharon, I wasn't going to say stuff. I figure after this show, because she's really an open sister, and I love her authenticity. She will just feel moved to, yes, of course I'm supposed to, and give him his honor and his respect.
Because of him.
Yeah, I was outside studying.
That's all right.
Yeah. He didn't know he was gonna be on here today. I didn't know he was gonna be up here.
So well, next time,
Well,
go ahead.
You have warmed up to it, so you did well today. So.
Yeah, you did much better than what we thought and what you thought too. But that's all right, because it's already in you, my brother. It's always been in you from that end. From that end. So, all right, Sherry, you want to talk a little bit about where you are and what you're doing real quickly before you come home?
Well, I'm still in Seoul, Korea. I'm still doing a lot of different things. Had a visit to Hyundai yesterday, which was an amazing experience. I got to share that with you. I sent the pictures to you already and lots
Have a
of
look.
videos. Yeah, but it was an amazing experience. I've got about 4 more days and I will be on that long flight back home. So, like I say, Thursday next week, I'll be in that black chair.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking forward to
when
it.
you come back, we're going to hook up with these two. We're going to go to one of these hotels downtown that you get to sit on the roof and
Yes.
look over, and we're going to act just like we are empress, kings, and queens, and all that other good stuff, and look around at everybody else and let them know how loving and caring we are. Would you guys be open to something like that?
Yes, of course. I can't wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hold on a minute.
We'll be
What do you
back.
mean?
We'll be back next weekend. He's done with his class on Thursday, Friday, and it takes us like 3 days to get back home.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So we'll be home about Sunday-ish.
Sounds
Yeah,
good. That'll give me a chance to get over jet lag. But
yeah, because you'll be back
I have to say,
26.
what do you mean by act like we're kings and queens? We are.
I was
No,
about to
no,
say,
no, 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 no. When you act in the
I'm joking.
divine level, when you act in the divine level, you move into the empress position. There's a difference
Yes,
between the empress, empress or
exactly.
emperor. They had kings and queens underneath them because they are over
That is
whole
true.
regions.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. God bless everyone. Have a good
Okay.
evening. Ashe.
Thank you all again. I like that.